All right, now it's on. Great. All right, so let's please continue. And remember that yesterday we reviewed about the past perfect tense and we did a practice. Now, let's please continue with the next grammar part on this unit, which will be infinitives. And well, what is an infinitive? As you know, infinitives are going to be formed by the preposition to and followed by a verb in the base form, like the examples here, to give, to run, to wait. And you can actually form or make any infinitive, okay, just by using the preposition to and the verb. And well, when do we use infinitives? Infinitives can act like subject. They can also act like the direct object in a sentence or the subject complement, which is going to be either the adjective, adverb in a sentence. Infinitives are too easy to identify. Why? Because of this structure, right? To followed by a verb. Now you know, infinitives can be used or act like subject, direct object, and subject complement. In the case of subject complement, we are talking about adjective or adverb. Let's continue. Infinitives after adjectives, specifically, this is something that you will see in this unit. How is the structure? Well, for this structure, you need to have a subject followed by the verb to be, like here, followed by an adjective, and then an infinitive and the complement. Basically, if you want, you can say for or of someone. No, who are you going to? Who is it? Is it important to? You can say it is important for my mom to be patient. All right, you can mention or not. You can avoid those. The infinitive and the complement, which is going to be the rest of the sentence. Here we have two examples of this. Could you read them, please?
It is important to be patient. It is wonderful to have close friends.
Correct. As you see here, both of the examples are following the structure. Subject, verb to be, adjective, and infinitive. You can also, as I said before, add for who is this action important to, okay? Before the infinitive, if you want. If not, it's okay. Here, the other use. Subject, followed by an infinitive, followed by to, and the adjective, and the infinitive. And here we have two examples. The box is too heavy for me to carry. Or I can say, the box is too heavy to carry without mentioning for or of someone, right? The car is too expensive for us to buy, or the car is too expensive to buy. And these are infinitives after adjectives. Do you have any doubts or questions about this?
And no, I think I understand.
Very good. Let's move forward. Next, you are going to be reviewing infinitives after nouns. And here we have the structure. We are going to be using a subject, followed by the verb to be, followed by a noun, an infinitive, and the complement or predicate. Here we have the examples. It's a high price to pay. It's time to take a break. He made a good decision to take up extra subjects. Subject, verb to be, noun, infinitive. All right. Doubts or questions about this?
And no, I think I understand.
All right. Very good. Wonderful. Let's please work on the practices. Here, this is the first one. Okay, this will be the second one. And yes. All right. So work on the practice, please, and let me know when you finish. Thank you.
Okay, Lydia. Could you go to the next slide? I want to copy some examples. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. How are you doing with the practices, Leandro?
I am completing the. I am finishing the second one.
Okay, all right.
Okay, did you have already finished?
Great. And how did you do?
I think good. I don't remember good in the three practices, but I think good. But could we check the last one in the third
Yes.
practice?
Yes, of course.
Thanks.
All right. Let's see what happens. Sometimes it's just typos, right? Typing mistakes. Let's see. The pie is very hot. You can eat it. The pie is too hot to eat it. Yeah, it's correct. The pie is too hot to eat. Ah, all right. Yeah. So here, you repeated the same subject, right? At the end. And as it says here, let's please check on the example so we can see if you had to repeat or not. All right. Oh, okay. So the pie is too hot to eat it. I think it's for me it's correct that way saying it at the end. That means that you are putting emphasis on the subject, okay, by mentioning again it. Nevertheless, the other correct option to just mention is the pie is too hot to eat because you are already mentioning the subject, right? Here, the pie.
Yeah, but if you see like the first one, the ice is too thin to walk on it, and I put it in that example in that exercise, and
Mhm.
it's correct.
All right, okay. Yeah, it's correct. This one is correct. Because, anyways, if you're talking grammarly, you're putting emphasis with using this it at the end about the pie, and it's correct. Here, this is also a topic that we are going to see in Model 12, emphatics. These are called emphatics. Let's go on to the next one. He's very busy, he can take a break. He's too busy to take a break. Yeah, it's correct. This one is correct, totally. You see here, it was just because of the dot, but it's correct, okay?
Okay.
And leave the hospital. He's too sick to leave the hospital. Yeah, that's correct. All right. Yeah, here it was because of the abbreviation, because in the answer here given, it is not abbreviated, but it's correct. This one is also correct. So everything is correct until here. And this one, it's too early to go to bed. The same because the contraction, right? But it's correct. Grammarly is absolutely correct. It's just because of the typos in the practice. These tomatoes are too green to pick them, correct? Again, it was just because of the final dot, correct? Here's too old to go to elementary school, yep. And again, it's because of the dot at the end. He's too tired to do his homework. Yeah, it's because of the abbreviation, but it's correct. So you got 10 over 10. Everything is correct, Leandro.
Oh, okay. I wanted to see what was bad in those exercises, but thank you.
No, all right. Yes, everything is correct. Absolutely correct. It's just the typos, In some practices, they let you use typos, like in also exclamations and dots and commas and everything. But sometimes that web page also doesn't allow, and so the creators of the practices sometimes avoid this step. Okay, but nevertheless, everything is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Let's please move forward. And well, as I said yesterday, this is the last grammar topic on this unit, unit number 3. Therefore, let's please start with unit number 4 and let's begin with vocabulary. Vocabulary is going to be related to phrases with clear. And here we have the first phrase. Clear adapt. The meaning of clear a debt is to completely pay back a loan. And what is the meaning of loan? Money you have borrowed from someone or a bank. And well, could you make an example with clear a debt?
Um, I cleared my debt with the bank.
Excellent. Clear a space. Clear a space is something that is clear or is easy to understand, see, or hear. All right. So whenever you are talking about clear the space, you're not only referring that you are going to clear, no, clean an area. It also means that it's something easy to understand. For example, the math teacher cleared the space about logarithms. That means that the math teacher explained, his explanation was very easy to understand about logarithms. All right. So we have the literal meaning and we have the figurative meaning, both. Could you make an example with clear a space?
The history teacher cleared the space about the Second World War.
Excellent. Clear someone's name. The meaning of clear someone's name is to prove that someone is not guilty of a crime. And here we have an example, please.
He's still trying to clear his name.
Correct. The next one, clear something with someone. This one doesn't need a translation to understand because as it is written, literally we can understand. Clear something with someone. So you can say Joanne clear, no, she cleared her doubts with Sandra, something like that. All right. So when you talk to understand better something, all right. The next one.
What would be the example for that?
Oh, the example with this one is Joanne cleared her doubts with Sandra.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. The next one. Clear the air. Well, it's basically to make the air cooler, fresher, and more comfortable. And here we have the example.
The rain has helped clear the air.
Yes. And the next one, to remove the bad feelings between people. This is another meaning of clear the air. To remove the bad feelings between people. Here we have an example.
Also, clear the air means that.
Yes, also it means this.
Okay, okay. I had a massive argument with Sue, but at least it has cleared the air.
Yes. All right, and let's go to the next one. Clear the decks. Clear the decks means to remove unnecessary things so that you are ready for action. And here we have an example.
Let's clear the decks and we can start cooking dinner.
Yes. Clear the way. The meaning of clear the way is to make it possible for something to happen.
We've got a loan from the bank, which has cleared the way for us to buy a house.
Yes. Clear your head. Clear your head means the ability to think clearly.
I won't have another drink, thanks. I need to have a clear head for my meeting in the morning.
The next one, clear your throat, means to give a small cough.
She cleared her throat nervously before she began to speak.
Yes. So, is there any doubt or question that you may have about these phrases with clear?
You know, I understand that. But could we stop in that slide for a moment? I want to copy some examples.
Of course, go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Did you clear your throat is like to give a small cough or to cure a small cough?
No, to give a small cough. You know, when you have something and you feel like you have something in your throat and you give a small cough, like, and then you continue.
Okay, okay, thank you. Okay,
You're
then I will
welcome.
let you know.
Okay.
Okay, teacher, I finished. Thank you. Thanks for waiting me.
All right, no problem. Let's please move forward. And well, next, we are going to have a conversation about learning English. And well, let's please begin with the first question. How long have you been learning English and how long will you keep learning English?
How long I have been learning English? I think that I could say okay. I was in another. I was with this is I have been in three institutes of English. The first one that I've been was in the back. It's called British English Center. I entered there in 2017, I think. Yeah, 2017. But in the school, I used to have English classes, but there weren't there were so silly. And I think that how long? I think we can say 4 years or not 4 years. I left English for 2 years. Then we can say like one and a half year, more or less. And how long will you keep will I keep learning? I think that I will keep learning like for all my life because English is like the most useful language you can learn because it's the most common in all over the world. I think that I will keep learning for all my life until I dominate this as a native speaker.
Very good. And well, I know your reason already why you're learning English, but yes, let's go to the next one. How often do you use English outside the classroom? And do you think this is enough? How could you practice more?
Um, I use English outside of the classroom and outside of doing my homework, for example, like watching movies and series, because all of the movies and series that I watch are in English. I prefer to watch in this way because I don't know, all the series and that kind of stuff that I watch are original in English, and I like to see in the in in the original language, and
Yes,
I think that
especially,
this is a good. Hmm?
sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Especially because I don't know if you notice in context, whenever you see the translated version, it doesn't include everything that the character or the person said. I don't know if you notice this, but it also changes. And sometimes even jokes and things like that, it kind of like changes. The meaning changes
Yeah,
totally.
I noted this with Transformers, for example. In a lot of their uh, Spanish version and English version are like some things that they say in English, they don't say it the same, or they don't refer the same in Spanish. It's like different.
Yes, exactly.
And yeah, I prefer watching this in English. Also, this is a way that I could learn English, principally I think the pronunciation and how to say some words that I've never heard before, like watching series or movies, or as I told you, like watching my wrestling program, principally in these ways, and listening to music. As I as I as I told you, I learned the present perfect listening the and Scorpions song. Then I think these are the best ways to practice more English.
Of course, yes, it is. Okay. And let's go to the next part. Next question. What do you find difficult when learning English?
When learning English, I think that for the beginners, I think that principal the principal difficult thing are the verbs, because in English there are not a rule of the verbs. Like in Spanish we have the verbs and they finish in ar, er, or ir. But in English not. In English a verb can be like can or run, and there are a list, and you have to memorize that list or practice this a lot. And also there are in their conjugations, there are a lot of conjugations like the irregular verbs or the regular verbs. I think for the beginners are the hardest thing to learn. But now I think that for me the, the most difficult thing about learning English are the phrasal verbs.
Okay, all right. Yes, it requires a lot of memory, right?
Yeah, a lot of practicing.
Yeah. All right. And according to you, which is the most important, grammar or vocabulary?
Um, Grammar or vocabulary. I think both are important, but when you want to communicate like with an English person, with a native English speaker, um, I think that the most important is like have grammar, like have the capacity to use at least the present simple. To say, I don't know, I want to go to the bathroom, for example. I think that grammar, firstly, is the principal thing. After and um, before vocabulary, grammar. I think that is most important because you can communicate in the most basic how do you say la más básica?
The most
Basic, yes?
basic?
Or
Basic.
the most basic way with a little bit of grammar. The vocabulary is necessary, of course, but if you want to go there and survive, I think grammar is the a little bit of grammar is most important, and knowing a lot of words in English.
All right. And well, the next one. What or who motivates you to learn English?
And I think that the principal thing that motivates me to study English is, as I told you, study abroad. And I know that in all over the world, the principal language is English. Then I think that this will be. It isn't like someone inspires me. It is like the reason that I have to learn English to can in order to communicate with other people all over the world.
All right, okay. And um, this one. How do you memorize new vocabulary or grammar rules?
Nowadays, I don't memorize them. I don't remember that. I think that I've never memorized like the grammar rules or something like that. As I told you, I learned the the most of my language or most of the way that I speak English. I learned by listening to music or watching series, and I've never memorized it. Like I've never read the list of the verbs and said, okay, run comes run, for example, or of bring broth to broth, for example. I don't remember that I've never do that. I think like for watching series, of course, that in my last in the first institute in the British English Center, I was like I used to study like a little bit of English. Like I used to there I learned the how to use the used to or how to use the I think the past the present perfect and something like that. But memorizing, like putting me for all the afternoon to study, no. I think that with just practicing, like reading some articles and doing your homework, you can learn good English. And you put this in practice and talking to someone in English.
All right. And is it more important to speak fluently without pauses or thinking, or accurately without making mistakes? And why?
Um, I think I could say it is more important to speak accurately because when you speak with a native English person or with someone that knows very good English, and you have to speak like good. You have to speak accurately, principally, because it doesn't matter so much if you speak like fluently with the best accent in the world. It doesn't matter so much if you commit a lot of mistakes when you're speaking. I think that it's more important to speak accurately because in this case the other person can understand you, and of course that I think that the other person can understand and that you are not like a native English person, and he can understand that you won't have the best pronunciation in the world. But if you speak like without any mistakes, it will be better for you and for communicate.
Yes, indeed. And well, do you think homework is useful or just a waste of time? And what kind of homework do you prefer?
I think the homework is useful in English is so useful, and principally because when you're doing your homework, you put in practice all the things that you have learned in your past class. I think that I think that there are four types of homework that are listening, speaking, writing, and reading. And grammar, of course, there are five, okay, or vocabulary. And yeah, I think that homework is useful to practice and to put and yes, principally for practicing. And what kind of homeworks are what kind of homework I prefer? I think that I would say the writing homework because I think that At the beginning it's like, oh my god, and I have to write a paragraph about that, and of course you don't have all the willings to do this. But when you are writing, you get in like you get inspired with something, and you just type in the keyboard. And I think that this is the best thing. Like you can write in English as you write in Spanish. I think that yes, writing is my favorite homework.
Okay, and well, what can you do to improve your English?
And what can I do to improve my English? I think that, of course, practicing and doing my homeworks and giving my best in exams and that kind of stuff. But also, and the best thing that I can do to improve my English is to go living to a city or to a city or to a country that they speak English. Then I will be forced to speak in English. Then in this way, I can learn more about pronunciations, some other racial verbs or modisms. And yeah, I think this is the best that I can do for improve my English.
All right, and this one. Have you ever been to an English speaking country or talked to a foreigner in English? Describe your experience.
Yes, it was I don't know, a lot of times, but many times, yes. And 1 year ago or something like that, no, not 1 year, half a year ago, I used to just for because I was bored. I used to go to Omegle in Google or Chat Roulette, and there you can speak with people all over the world. Then the only language you can speak is in English because rarely will you will be talking with some um, English speaking person. Then you found like a lot of people abroad of the foreign, and you speak them in English. I remember that I spoke with an Indian person, with a Filipinian Filipinian person, and a lot of American people. And yes, like 2 years ago, I I talked with some English person. I think he was from England. I loved his accent, and he told me in English, like in a very basic Spanish, like "Cómo puedo," for example, and like he told me, "How can I get to Real Plaza Hotel?" And then in that moment I was so nervous because I was, oh my god, this is the moment that I've been practicing for all my life. And then I explained him like he had in that way, in that moment, and that he had to go 3 blocks in this way, then go to the right for 5 blocks, and there he will find the hotel. And he told me, oh, thank you. And I was like, yes. I think that in person, this was the first and the only one where, but as I told you, I used to go to Omegle or Chat Roulette just for just because I was bored, and I used to speak in English in that website.
All right, that's very nice. And well, this one, the last one. Learning English is a complete waste of time. I will never use it later anyway. Do you agree?
I think that if you think, like, if your ambitions are to stay like in your country, and in your country you speak English, and in your country you speak Spanish, for example, and you don't think of going out, and you don't think of getting a very good job, I think that yes, it's a waste of time for you, the because you won't put the English in practice. Never. If your ambitions are those, like, just stay in your country and have a job that is not so special, like a job of something that you just stay there, and anything else. I think that I can agree with him if his or her ambitions are like this. But if your ambitions are like you want to study abroad, and you want to have a very good job, you have to know English. Like, it is not a waste of time. It is not a waste of time. It is like the best decision and the and the first decision you should make in order to accomplish your goals.
Yes, indeed it is. All right. Well, wonderful. Next class on Monday, we are going to start with grammar on this last unit, right? Nevertheless, I will be assigning all the homework related to this unit so you can start working on it.
Okay.
All right, let's please work on the survey. And well, just wanted to let you know that on Fridays and I think on Mondays we can have earlier classes, like at this time. What do you think about that?
Okay, sorry. I think that yes, it will be better because I think we both feel more relaxed in the afternoon. Like we have all the afternoon free, and I think yes, it will be best. It will be better if we have classes at this time.
Perfect. All right. Then I will let you know how it goes for Monday because I have a student that is finishing in the morning. So she used to take this schedule and even before at 11:20 in the morning. So,
Okay.
all right.
Okay, then
I'll
you
let
just tell me, and there won't be any problem.
perfect. All right, Leandro. Well, have an excellent weekend and see you Monday.
Okay, teacher, have an excellent weekend. See you Monday. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.